Let's go over yesterday's call as trading has closed on July 25th, 2017. I was looking for a stronger move today, and I thought the open would tell the story. I said anything other than gapping over these highs was negative. Gapping over these highs told this story. As far as the daily pattern was concerned, originally I called this as a pattern with an early high. It turned out to be an early low. Took me hours to figure out what happened, and what happened was I was looking at the wrong date. Not too smart. Anyway, this is a pattern with an early low. This is a pattern with an early low. Tomorrow's pattern should have an early high, and the vast majority of times rally into the close, closing near the day's high. That doesn't preclude us dropping first. This is a wall. This is a hole in the wall, a gap. These holes tend to fill, usually within a day or so. Typically, you undercut the low of the wall and find support. We have an optional MEJT target of 24.7530, and even though we hit a new high today, it's negative to gap up, hit new highs, and not be able to close over any of them. That negativity would be erased if we gapped up and promptly traded over this high. Tomorrow, I guess, is the Fed report. I don't think it pays to risk a lot of money on those days. Once the report comes out, it tends to lead to a wild whipsaw, which is not predictable enough for me. So with that caveat for tomorrow, unless we gap up over this high, in which case we should have a good chance of continuing higher, unless we gap up and overtake this high promptly, lower prices should print at some time during the day. There's an optional target at 24.7530. There's an optional target of cutting yesterday's of undercutting yesterday's close, and there's a ultimate target that we'll see 24.6940 at some point. Support under this level, support under this level. As far as the long-term pattern is concerned, we're still close enough to this price that it might work, but frankly I had a better case to be made for the earlier high holding, and the higher we go above this level, the more likely it is that this whole Fibonacci stuff isn't going to work. We won't know that for sure until tomorrow's trade. So I'm always flat going into the Fed announcement. Early on, if we don't clear this out fast, good chance to see this price and this price and this price. And that's today's call.